Hello, this is Congressman Robert Dold. I wanted to take a few minutes to speak to you today about what I've been doing on your behalf here in Washington. I've been in office for 92 days, and in that time, we have accomplished a number of things that we were sent here to do. I've worked in a bipartisan manner to find solutions to the problems the 10th District and the nation are facing. The first bill I sponsored here in the House was with Congressman Dan Lipinski to provide greater protection for the Great Lakes. I was the first House freshman to pass a bill on the House floor. My bill, H.R. 830, the FHA Refinance Termination Act, halted an ineffective and wasteful government program. This bill will save the taxpayer $8 billion, and I look forward to working with the Senate to get this bill passed and to the President's desk. I was an original co-sponsor of the bill to remove the burdensome and costly regulation of 1099 provision in the health care law. I am pleased to report that this bill has passed both the House and the Senate, and it's on its way to the President for signature. I led the effort in the House to preserve foreign aid to our strongest Democratic ally in the region. With turmoil we are seeing in the Middle East, America must stand firm with Israel. I voted to cut spending and put our fiscal house in order. The American people have had to tighten their belts, and so too should the federal government. I voted to cut fiscal year 2011 spending by $100 billion and to fund the government for the remainder of the year. Obviously, the news that is dominating Washington this week is a potential government shutdown and the release of the House Republicans' 2012 budget. First, I want to address the steps we have taken to prevent a government shutdown. It is important to know that the only reason the potential of a government shutdown even exists is because the previous Congress failed to pass a budget. Not only was this a dereliction of duty, it led to a massive increase in federal spending. Excessive government spending has economic consequences for all Americans, which is why the House Republicans have voted to cut government spending and continue to fund the government. We have waited 48 days for the Senate Democrats to join with us in passing a serious long-term spending plan that will cut spending and help grow our economy. No one wants a shutdown. Our troops who are fighting 3 wars do not get paid during a shutdown. Essentially, government services are halted. It is time for the Democrats to work with us to keep the federal government open. I remain confident that we can reach a bipartisan deal to fund our troops and to keep the government operating. Finally, I want to talk to you about the House Republicans' 2012 budget plan. We in the House recognize that it's time for the government to tighten its belt and to cut spending, just like families all across America and the 10th District. Earlier this week, Paul Ryan, the chairman of the House Budget Committee, put forward a budget that cuts $6.2 trillion over a decade, prevents the President's proposed tax increases from going into effect, and puts our nation on a fiscally sustainable path to give job creators and entrepreneurs all across our country confidence to grow their businesses, invest, and create jobs. This blueprint balances the federal budget and pays off our job-destroying national debt. Here's what else the budget plan does. It saves and secures Social Security and Medicare for future generations. Not surprisingly, opponents of the budget plan have already said that this plan will cut Social Security and cut Medicare. These charges are false. The House plan does not change any of the benefits for those 55 and older. The government guarantee remains in place. Let me just say that again. The House plan does not change any benefits for those 55 and older. The government guarantee will remain in place. We propose to save and secure Medicare for future generations of retirees by allowing future Medicare beneficiaries the same kind of plan that members of Congress and federal workers now enjoy. The budget plan put forth by Chairman Ryan actually spends more on Social Security each year than it does in the previous year, but does so in a fiscally responsible manner that will lower the cost curve and ensure long-term sustainability of the program. Only Washington politicians would call that a cut. The bottom line is that we have to stop spending money that we do not have. We have to provide certainty and sustainability for our job creators, and we have to stop burying our children under mountains of debt. I am committed to working in a bipartisan manner to meet our nation's challenges. I appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you today and look forward to hearing from you in person in your office in the district, in your office here in Washington, D.C., on the phone, or over the internet. Thank you again.